warrior is better off living drunk in the city park than being controlled by the mere gamer.
You are the gamers.
I think the old magic found its way back into our world through a dream. Just a dream. Nothing more.
Your project is to identify everyone with talent?
Yes.
Even if it's just potential and even if they haven't used it yet?
Damn it, I shouldn't have told you.
Is that what it does?
You cannot breathe a word of this to anyone.
Amanda, do you have any idea what you're doing?
Yeah. Saving children.
We have to destroy it.
Are you crazy? That's my life's work.
A witch hunt machine?
Jesus, Whit. You were being so naive. This isn't some fairy tale. This is about saving people here in the real world.
Lock up when you leave.
Just a dream. Nothing more.
Okay, guys, ready?
Ready.
Ready. Ready.
Stage 1. Gain interior access without causing alarm.
What are you doing?
Elves get a 20% bonus when hiding.
Behind a lamp?
Elves are skinny bastards.
Okay, my turn.
These guys have had 15 years to solve this without players. They failed.
Do you guys remember the story of the gamers that disappeared from their table 15 years ago?
Urban legend that's as fake as the steam tunnel scare.
Actually, this one's all true. And you're holding their original character sheets right now.
Rogar, former barbarian scourge of West Haven, now a convicted
felon twice over and a homeless alcoholic with an anger problem. What the hell, Megan?
I have an idea. But it's going to take all of us working together. The main controls for the university's surveillance system are housed in the server room.
Where's my feed, Magellan?
Magellan will hack into the system, which should give us access to the campus security.
Why can't I just use another spell?
Hacking, magic, just do your thing. Why'd you steal his pants?
Which games do you remember forever? The ones where your character wins some imaginary gold? Or the ones where they grew into something greater than the stats on a character sheet?
No, don't care.
before the thing is done, let's do our pump up chant. Chugga, 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 chugga.
Boy jumpers. What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday, our favorite Wednesday of the week. Welcome to Void Jumpers. I'm Jesse Keeter. I'm awesome. We're going to be playing this game today. It's called Monster of the Week by Michael Sands, and it's a wonderful game, and we use it and we love it. I'm so happy to be on Void Jumpers with everyone tonight. That's all. Let's bring in the crew. What's up, everybody? Void Jumpers. So I believe, like usual, I'm gonna kick it over to Trin to get us started with some important real-life business before we dive headfirst into D&D nonsense. I think she's got a little trick up her sleeve for all of us tonight, but let's start off with Trin and see what she has to say.
All right. Well, it's not about voting. Ha ha! Yes, it is. It's always about voting. It will always be about voting until after November 3rd. And then even after November 3rd, it'll still be about voting. But today, it's also about the things that I'm hopeful about and the things that I am voting for, because it's really easy to get focused on all the awfulness that exists in the world right now. And so I want to talk a little bit about some things that I think are hopeful. And I also would love to hear from the rest of y'all being you in the chat, like drop in the chat why you're excited to vote this year. Even if that excitement is about voting out Cheeto Mussolini. And then also I'd love to turn it to my fellow Void Jumpers and have you guys give a quick little shout out to what you're excited about voting this year. So I will start by saying the lines that we're seeing in Georgia are a direct result of voter suppression. They are bad, they are wrong, they are not good for democracy. But the fact that people have been waiting in those lines for 12 hours gives me hope that there is hopefully a majority of the people who vote this year who are extremely motivated this year and doing everything that they possibly can to make sure that their vote counts. They have not given up despite all the institutional barriers put in place to prevent people from voting. And that alone gives me hope for November 3rd. So I am voting. I will hopefully have a much easier time voting, but I am voting because I want to make voting easier for everybody in all circumstances and get rid of that kind of bullshit. Jesse.
I was thinking about this when you told me about this earlier. I will talk about what I told my mother. I've been talking to her more frequently lately about trying to convince her to vote differently than she did in 2016, and I think that I'm making some headway. But I realize that the country's not perfect. It's far from it, and it has been that way forever. It's like baked into the foundation of what our country is. The recent events have pushed us to such a cartoony version of that it is very difficult for people in a very privileged and protected bubble like myself to ignore all of these horrible, horrible things that have been going on forever. They're not new, I recognize that. But because I am slow to the uptake on this, I recall telling my mother as a final plea, I said, I really just need things to be different because I don't necessarily want to think about what it means on November 3rd if Cheeto Mussolini is still in power, and why I would, for the first time in my life, consider being an expat and leaving this country and abandoning it. And I don't want to do that, and I won't, I think. But basically it's that I've just never been in a position where I realized this isn't the kind of country I want to be a part of. This isn't the America that I'm okay with. And there's a lot of times that people can't put a finger on how best to help, or they, myself included, don't want to do a couple quick steps as to figure out how. But one surefire way to be actively working towards something better is to vote. And that is something I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be voting for Biden because I think between like, sure, somebody's not perfect, but at least a regular dude versus like raving lunatic, the choice is easier for me. But that's why it's important to me. I would like this country to be a place that I'm proud of. And it ain't right now, big time. That's it for me.
You want to popcorn it to somebody?
Let's go with Coco Marks. You're on mute, dude. Celebrate on live. Celebrate on live.
Yes. I'm going to take a slightly different spin, I think, because there's so much to say about why the whys that we're excited to vote and the specific directions we're excited to make those votes. Basically, what I'm saying is I think there's a lot of common ground, making assumptions, but I think there's a lot of common ground about our goals for the country. So I'll just say some things that I'm excited to vote for. I'm excited to vote for a woman named Nitya Raman, who is just really dope. And she's going to, I hope, beat out an incumbent in Los Angeles who's a real snoozer. I'm excited to vote against Prop 22 because Uber and Lyft have just been pumping billions of dollars into marketing campaigns that attempt to convince my generation that I would just be excited to see those two giant companies lose out to a populist vote that supports a labor movement. Well, there was one more I had in my mind, but it might be gone right now. Yeah.
Is it perhaps the DA's race?
Oh yeah, Jackie Lacey. She sucks, and she's been the DA in LA for a long time. So hopefully we'll get a new one who is less shitty. Lisa Coronado.
Oh God. You know, really more than anything, I'm excited to vote to show my children how important it is to use your voice. I grew up in a very conservative family. I've been a centrist most of my life who, as an adult, as I moved to a big city, leaned a little bit more left. But I didn't vote in my, like when I was 18, it was not anything that was ever made a big deal to me. And now as an adult, realizing how important your voice is, and especially for my daughter, you know, as a woman being able to vote, that I can't think of a better way to show them how to make a difference in our country instead of just complaining about stuff than using your vote. And I'm excited to vote for our planet and all its inhabitants. And I'm excited to vote for compassion and decency and to support women and their right to choose and a billion other things. So I feel like I'm going to scribble so hard on that stupid ballot that I'm going to make a hole in it. But I'm pretty excited to
Don't
do
make
that.
a hole in your ballot that can invalidate your ballot, and then you have to get a new one.
I know it's gonna take all of my willpower not to do that. And shouldn't reveal this, but I also have a child who's going to be voting for the first time in the presidential race. So it's gonna be a family affair, probably with tacos. So yeah, Casey.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of the vote. Woo! Already got mine out. Vote early, vote informed. And if you're not sure, I'm sure you can reach out and find some nerd, you know, here or elsewhere who's read through all the prompts for your area and maybe has a luxury of time that they can spend to try to inform themselves. So there are resources if you don't have time to read through the whole pamphlet. So one thing that Trin brought up that I think is a really good indicator of an action that we should take she brought up voter suppression, which is really a huge tenet of some political organizations. They're a big fan of trying to, gerrymander districts and keep people away from polling places and reduce the number of polling places. And for the longest time, this really upset me. It still does. But the silver lining I take from this, so to heart, is that it is the strongest proof that your vote matters. The fact that they're trying to stop you means your vote matters. And I've been trying to use this logic for people who have been like, oh, it doesn't matter if I vote. It doesn't matter if I vote. I'm like, yeah, I got a little conspiracy theory for you. And I won't get too into my particular politics. I'm probably a bit more, I'm not full laissez-faire, but I'm definitely for keeping the government kind of more as a regulatory committee so that the businesses don't go full Ayn Rand. This is more of a advocation for vote your conscience, vote your values, but participate, because if you're actively informing yourself and participating, it opens up an opportunity for dialogue and growth and change to try to make this community a place where hopefully Jesse won't feel like he has to leave, because even with technology, even though we could still interact with him, I'd still like him to be several hundred miles away instead of several thousand miles away because of my own fragile codependency issues.
But Canada is beautiful, so.
It is. The Yukon Territory is amazing.
I know.
Oh, it's so just quit all the hustle and bustle and go start a horse ranch up there. Let's do it. I'm in.
I'm in.
You make me so excited to be on the show with you. Bunch of punks, bunch of extraordinarily eloquent, articulate, compassionate punks. It's a good way to spend a Wednesday night. I'm talking to you too, Chad. You're a bunch of punks.
Yeah. See, you bunch of punks. See?
Them's fighting words.
Okay, so vote. For real. Go out there and fucking vote. Vote now if you can.
Vote early.
Vote early.
Especially if you're going to vote absentee, get it in the mail.
Yep. We got our friggin' ballots. God, it's taking forever.
Just ripping every piece of mail, and Lisa's just throwing paper around her house, just shredding it.
I pretty much go back to the mailman. I'm like, take this back. There's no ballot. Get out of here.
We had to deal with some.
He's wearing a helmet and hockey pads. He just rings the doorbell. She socks him as hard as she can.
I just stick Kita on him. Kita scares him away.
I got mine yesterday.
You did?
Haha, sucker.
Yay!
Exclamation marks.
Make sure
you can try. Oh, go ahead, Casey.
Just make sure you put it in a real ballot box. There's a couple of fake drop-off spots that have been appearing in.
I'm taking mine directly to a polling location.
Yeah. So there's the official ones have a lot of markings on them. So if it looks sketchy at all, there's a whole pamphlet that goes out telling you exactly where every drop-off station is. So it'll be it's at this cross street. So you can just check with the little booklet. It seems maybe like a lot, but you'd be amazed what 45 seconds of planning will do to put you at ease.
Last thing I'm going to say is I did learn that my ballot was sent to the wrong place, and I only knew that because I've just been obsessively tracking it. So if it's fun. You go ahead and track your. It's the joy of getting a package and tracking that. And I was able to learn that my shit was sent to the wrong place, and so I got a second ballot printed. And I'm glad I did. I would have usually just waited for it to naturally get to me, because you never know when it's going to get there. That's all. Thank you. Thank you, Trin. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Satan.
All right, you guys want to do some nerd stuff?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Lisa,
talking about elections isn't super nerdy.
Different nerd stuff. And no, it's really fucking cool, Trin. Lisa, I think we got a nice
our
little,
stuff is not cool?
would you guys relax? You talk about the vote, you get a little amped up, and I appreciate it because it's passion, and I fuel on that. But
Look, man, water planet fucking sucks, man. Water planet was fucking horrible.
That's true.
Right?
I just like it got me warmed up. It was like the stretch I do before my workout, where Blight Planet's gonna be the workout, and Water Planet was the stretch.
Well, then someone's dying again.
Lisa, you have a great transition for us.
Yes.
You do your thing.
So, due to Bryn's unfortunate rolling last week, she was sent some dice to hopefully help from some sweet soul named Mark. And I have not seen these dice. They just got here today, so I figured might as well unveil them on stream. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Norse Boundary. Oh, these are dope.
Lift them up a little bit. Let us get it on the action here.
Bags. There's so many bags. I told her to pick up dice that reminded her of Bryn. And these look like fire. And they're beautiful. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Little baby beautiful dice that look like Fire Planet. Thank you, Mark.
Very cool.
I will use
Those
these
are awesome.
today and hope for better results.
Yes, which leads me into a new mechanic that I'm going to introduce, and Bryn will be the guinea pig for. So, a lot happened last session. A lot. And, Bryn died. She died. But it happened in the middle of it. And so much happened before that and after that. The fact that Bryn died got lost a little bit. So we're going to make that count for something. And we're going to implement some new rules. First of all, Bryn, as part of her level up, has been nudged towards taking something called apotheosis, which basically means that if Bryn takes great harm or experiences loss, once permission, she goes into Dark Phoenix mode.
No way!
Yeah, where she has a +3 to like every one of her stats, and then can just like nuke shit. But she's also completely bound to every single one of the temptations that are listed in the hex thing. This is as written. I did not even create this rule. So if at any point she goes against a temptation, which is like making people pay, exploring new power, getting more powerful, anything that goes against these things, she's going to do bad things probably to you guys. So there's a huge payoff. And I feel like this curse as coming back from the death, to me, it's half that. It's the malice tainting her magic. And she's already got a temptation built into her character. It's a quest for arcane knowledge. And we've heard that her family is famous for destroying itself as the summoners get older and more lured by the fire magic and its power. And so it's not that Halfdad's made her a sleeper agent or anything. It's just that he's kind of taken the safety switch off of Bryn's ability to say no to that lust. So she's going to be a little bit more spooky. That being said, she's also got a mechanic that I built that any of you bastards will pick up if you die and you're lucky enough to be brought back to life. It's called You're Cursed. And so, would you hold up your cap, Bryn?
What?
Would you hold up your cap? I've sent Bryn a secret list. There are 6 horrible things that can happen. For the next 6 failures that Bryn rolls, she will pull a curse card out of this cap and read the effect. And it will decide how we move forward. Most of them are designed to be used to fuck you guys during combat. And therefore, if they happen when you're just talking to somebody or making floaty, sparkly water flowers or traveling through space nonchalantly, they're going to be really weird.
Oh God, that's the best. I can't wait.
How long does this last?
The curse cap is just 6. So after 6, it's spent. The apotheosis affliction, we'll call it, which is a deeper thing that's built in. It's like she took a move from the book.
Right.
She can cure it. She will need the assistance of a powerful magic user or a very powerful magical healing item, and she can cure it.
This is dope.
Yeah.
Okay. So bless you. That's it for the new rules. Mark, do you want to roll our previously on?
Oh yeah.
And then we'll get going.
This is dope.
I like how we started this show. Jesse was all like, I'm here to collaborate with you and make sure you succeed. And now 3 seasons into it, he's like, I'm going to kill you all.
7, you said?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Casey was right. Because if you would have failed, you could have died. Oh, wait, no.
Okay, just listen to my voice. Look at me, let's go through the things that are hooking us here, all right? What are you so excited to eat as soon as we get out of this lab?
Moonberry pie?
We're here to sacrifice ourselves so we can save you if need be. Stop putting everyone else's needs ahead of your own.
Seriously, have you any idea of what you've done? It's horrible. Disastrous even. You've ruined so much research. Why are you looking at me like that? You're freaking me out.
Right, I'm doing in Rex's arms. I'm just like pew 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 with fire and everything.
Look, we got 3 cells, 1 for you, 1 for Air Dobbins, and 1 for Gwenig. And I'm going to sit right here until you're all dead.
The company always wins. How strange. Okay, welcome back. If you all recall, you just left the water planet, which was really fun for everybody. There was some tense moments. Leaving Lost Shore, Rex blew it up without telling anybody she was going to, and Shavana was there when it happened. You guys are in a shuttle headed into orbit back towards Haven. On the ship with you are Gwenig and Air Dobbins. So, there's also a robot pilot, and his name is Every 97, and I remembered that.
It was our final beat of the last episode, it blowing up?
No, it was Air Dobbins also saying, as though he'd heard Shavana's last words, the company always wins. As though he was surprised to hear it. Nice call. Okay, so when you get into space, you see that your escort ship, Shavana's old vessel, is parked alongside Haven, and there are shuttles skirting back and forth. They seem to be moving quickly, but there doesn't seem to be any kind of emergency. There's no combat happening. There just seems to be a lot more interaction between these 2 ships than you've seen in the past. Your ship approaches and docks, no problem. When you get to the hangar, you see a lot of activity. People are moving in and out of shuttles, loading them up. There seems to be people with clipboards walking around, counting off. A lot of the robots are doing some of the heavy lifting, and there are some other personnel. Although the ship's crew on Haven is pretty small, you do see some familiar faces. Captain Matt Vansel approaches from the direction of the elevators, and he's got somebody standing next to him who he gives some orders to, and they scurry off. When he sees you, he motions for you, Rex. Or the group, I should say. Congratulations.
Thanks.
It was a rough one, but thanks.
How do you guys all look?
Terrible.
Yeah, awful.
Everybody looks fucked up. You're wearing
Yeah,
like
shower
busted
would be
neck
nice.
suits and slime.
Yeah, I've got just shark chum all over me. I think we smell far worse than we look, and we look terrible.
He flips a handkerchief out of his pocket and holds it in front of his nose. And he motions to you, Rex, to click your little thing.
Click, 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 click.
He says, an alert came through, company-wide, calling for all hands on deck. Any personnel willing and able to help out on planets where you've managed to drop the barriers. I've done what I can to clean up our roster. I sent Milk Felling, the professor's old mentor, because I know he bleeds company through and through. Arn, your old mentor, Rex, he volunteered to go to Bloom and help out there. And I've also sent a majority of our engineering staff. We'll be running a skeleton crew and covering our asses with the robots, but I figured it would give us some operating room. That's what all this business is about. They're sending over to our escort ship, and our escort ship's actually going to be taken off, so we'll be flying solo.
What are you thinking, Captain?
I don't know. It just seems like whatever we're doing, we need as little company oversight as possible.
Oh, right. I forget that we continue to act in ways that are flagrantly against the company's wishes.
Yes. Yes.
I just, it's tough because you get down there and it seems like the immediate danger is the, giant squid trying to eat you, the scorpion trying to pinch you. We don't really have time to parse out company politics, but now that I think back on it, yeah, there's little that we do that would not be frowned upon.
Yeah.
We have a company person on board, too, that I would like to have escorted back to the Fire Planet and watched, because she is prone to running.
Okay. I could probably get her on the transport out of here, but I won't be able to guarantee what happens to her when she leaves.
Do we have enough personnel to staff the brig? We're going to have a prisoner coming back with us as well. 2 of them, in fact. We got the mad scientist and Shavanah remained in our custody after the water planet.
Okay. I only see, he looks past you and he sees that some of the robots are escorting Air Dobbins and Gwenig out. He says there's only 2. Is one?
Yeah, she came on a separate transport vessel.
There were no others. We sent craft down to get the Void Jumper, but there were no others.
That's all right.
Yeah. I mean, there's nowhere. Do you think that she was already taken to company hold somewhere else? Is she being put in a cell off ship?
Oh.
It's not of a huge concern of mine. I don't particularly have business with her. I don't imagine I'm going to be the best prison guard.
He turns to Rex and he says, do you know what he's talking about? We only sent the...
There should have been a second vessel summoned to pick up another prisoner.
It's the second vessel number 2.
Right. I will look into that. Yes.
Okay.
She's just dangerous. We don't want to lose sight of her.
Yes, Shavanah is the worst, the literal worst person.
The worst, right?
Yes.
Okay.
She said, she's just got this way. It's so typical of company executives to just give you this sense that you can trust them, that they belong. And then when your back is turned, just do something violent and destructive, just the opposite of, the human thing to do.
He sees a little color rising on Rex's face and says, yes, it is bad. Yeah. Look,
anyway,
I'll look into that and I will figure out if there's anything that I missed Maybe there is another craft on the way. It's been a little busy around here. But we will have some positions available if there's anybody you know and trust that you think would do good towards our mission. And I could probably send word and get them transported to the ship. It wouldn't happen immediately. We probably wouldn't see them until after our next planet. But is there anybody you have in mind who would be an asset to us?
Tara. Her name's Tara.
She was in your report from Bloom. She's a guide, and
She's extraordinarily capable. Yes.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. I will send word to Bloom and see if I can get her on board. As you would continue to adventure, if you meet anybody, mechanics-wise, that you want to be part of Haven's crew, just flag them, and we will send for them in the future. Tara will join the crew after your next mission, and she will provide a service to the ship that I don't know yet, but you can have her help you.
What's up?
She will probably stay on board, but the asset can provide bonuses, much like researching the planet in advance or giving you gear. So, yeah, just keep an eye out for...
Well, she's got some mighty fun assets.
This is maybe not fair. I don't want to call someone back from their own life, from what they're doing, but I do feel like we just really, really, really had a deep connection with a particular robot named, sorry, I'm losing it. Damn it. Named CNAC88. I just feel like we understood each other at a deep level, and I think that kind of friendship is hard to come by.
He looks to make sure that Rex's device is still on, and he said, "You do know that he escaped this vessel with the professor on board a stolen company ship, right?"
I understand, but what you have to understand is that, he was the kind of guy that someone would say, "What do you guys feel like eating?" And we'd both say finger sandwiches at the same time and look at each other and laugh. And so that's what I want to get back in my life.
That's interesting.
If we could just have like a call with him or something, just see how he's doing.
Sure, I will put out some feelers and see if I can do that. Yeah, I will do that for you. Okay. We will need to decide what happens to Gwenig. He's just got your report up on a hologram clipboard, which is why he knows some of the proper nouns that I don't feel like dancing around. So he says, we will need to figure out what to do with Gwenig before the escort vehicle leaves. But you will have time to think it over. They probably will not be shipping out for another 12 hours. And then he says, I don't know how you guys do what you do. Nobody can crack these planets. They can't even get down to them. The only planets coming back online are the ones that you guys go to. So I'm really happy you're back. And I know that we don't have a game plan yet, but I feel like we're still doing good. So thank you.
You do?
Thanks.
Is it making a difference? It's so hard to feel like it when there's so many people working against us.
I know. And I don't know that there is a war that I could even define for us to win. And I know that the company has a pretty big hold on this system, but there are people on those planets that need your help, and there are resources on those planets that need to be distributed to others. And simply dropping those barriers and getting back into contact and stopping whatever it is that's on them, that is making a difference. And maybe we won't know how to categorize the size of it, but it's incredible what you're doing. It truly is. And I am glad to see you. If you'll excuse me, I do need to get back. And he gives you a little informal salute and takes off to go oversee some stuff. Okay, so we are going to now jump into some scenes. This is going to be our season finale episode for Water before we move on. And so before we get to some of the bullshit that I have planned, I am interested to see your characters find a little bit of resolution, because I do know that the Water Planet kicked your ass. And so I want to see what you guys have to say about all of that. For now, we're just going to drop through some scenes that I talked to you guys about the characters needed in advance. We are going to start with Rex and Gwenig. So I think that what's going to happen is the staff of this ship is now going to be robots, besides a few key roles filled by humans. And so you've got about 20 or so robot bodies on scene. They are all individual personalities and named, and don't fucking ask me for all of their names.
Gonna do it every time.
But they will be handling the busy work of the ship from now on. And so 2 of them are going to escort Gwenig to a cabin, and she's just going to be on house arrest for the most part until her fate is decided. That's on Bryn's authority of telling the captain that she needs to be watched. So at least on Haven, she will be watched. And so Gwenig is in her cabin. Brex, I think you find yourself there to talk to her. Do you have a beat that you'd like to give us before you walk in the door?
I'm pacing in my sparse quarters, occasionally punching the walls, but it's not a frustrated punch. It's more like get your head back in the game.
It's a thinking punch.
It's a thinking punch. Because all I've been able to do is just watch that facility blow up over and over in my mind and think about that moment. And that's literally all I can think about. And at a certain point in this pacing and punching, not even necessarily knowing where I'm going or why, I just know that I need to leave my room, and I walk briskly and then find myself where Gwenig is being held.
Okay. When you open the door and walk inside, she is recently out of the shower. She's just wearing some usual kind of like Star Trek pajamas and just, doing a little towel in the hair. She looks exhausted. It's the kind of exhaustion that sleep ain't gonna fix right away. And there is a large plate of Jell-O on the nightstand next to her. And when you enter, she looks over her shoulder, expecting to see probably a robot, sees that it's you, and she says, "Oh, good. And she picks up the Jell-O, which is lime, by the way, and she starts eating it.
Good.
Can I help you, Rex?
No, probably not. Probably not, no. And then I just start pacing and punching in her room.
Okay. Well, look, I need your help.
The pacing and punching stops for a second.
She says, it's not completely true, but you kind of owe me. And I'd like to call in that favor.
I'm sorry, how do you figure that?
I brought your summoner back to life. I told you how to get to the rift. I didn't betray you. And even though she's failing to recognize it, I am a friend, an old friend of Bryn's. And I need your help.
I narrow my eyes. The pacing is stopped, and now we're at the arms folding stage.
I don't want to go back to fire. When Bryn's mother finds out what I was doing for the company, I won't be punished because that's not the way she is, but I will be unable to work. I will be purposeless. I will be drying out on that desert once more with nothing in my pocket and nothing to look forward to. I can't go back to fire. I need to work. I need to keep working. And so I need you to arrange for me to get a pass on this one so that I can go back to work. And I know you and I don't see eye to eye, but I will start by reporting to whatever it is that the company is calling for. I will be the hands on deck. I will go to these planets. I will help the people resettle their settlements and get the supply lines back in order. I will be a medic if I need to. I will see it through, and then I will choose what to do with my life after that. I will earn the freedom to begin with while we're in this crisis. I'm not going to make any promises afterwards, and I don't think that's too much to ask.
Are you just going to go back to the same work that you were doing before? Once you've earned your freedom, as it were?
Once the research materials and notes have been recovered from Lost Shore, I'll be starting over, Rex, and I don't know where they'll put me. But I'm worthy. I'm useful. Not everything we were doing there was bad.
I can't promise you anything, but I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. That's fair. And I'll consider us even. Now, what the hell are you doing in here?
I don't know. And then I punch a hole in her wall and leave.
Okay. You return to your sparse quarters. Next, we are going to check in with Sam and Puck. Casey, I'm going to give you the reins for this one.
All right. So when Matt Vansel first approaches the group and the robots take away the prisoners, the others may or may not have noticed that Puck went with the robots and Eric Dobbins and Gwennig, and he didn't stick around for any of the other the discussion. Should I just go right into sort of? Yeah. So Puck has a short discussion with one of the robots and splits off Eric Dobbins from the group and takes him up to the kitchen. I believe it's on the mid deck, above the cargo bay, but below the bridge deck.
Mm-hmm.
And they spend a few minutes together in the kitchen where Puck starts to assemble the ingredients to bake chocolate chip cookies. And he explains to Eric Dobbins the keys to making the perfect chocolate chip cookie. And
which is?
The secret is there's several things. First, you have to use salted butter, okay? Then you want to half melt the butter in the oven, just half melt. Then you've got to let the butter return to room temperature, okay? Then when you put your flour in, you just add flour until the dough pulls away from the side of the bowl, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the egg that you put in there, you just barely beat it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You make the cookies bigger than you think you should, and you cook bake half as many as you think you should at a time. As well as you need to put your chocolate chips in strategically. You can't just let them all clump together. You've got to space them out. And then you determine the doneness by the little brown spots on the top of the cookie. And you don't want to be lifting it up. You just got to look for, as soon as you get a little browning on the top, you know it's good to go. And this is by far the best way. You don't need a fancy baking sheet, you can just use a regular cheap baking sheet. You don't need like a fancy stone, and you don't need to refrigerate the dough or anything like that. And then, yeah.
He's listening the whole time. He's asking you a couple questions. He's cuffed, but he just doesn't seem to be making any moves. He approaches the counter at one point and just watches you work. He's got this haunted look. He seems curious about what you're talking about, but largely disinterested. But he's the entire time very polite and attentive.
Yeah. So he puts the cookies in the oven, and he's like, "Yeah, it'll be about 10 or 15 minutes." But there's something I want to show you before we have cookies. And
I would love to see it.
Yeah. So Puck escorts Air Dobbins down the hallway and into one of the smaller ports, where you basically have an airlock to the outside of the ship. And
it's like a maintenance hatch kind of thing for emergencies.
And Puck escorts Air Dobbins into it and says, "Sam and I discussed for a long time what it was we were going to do with you. And I just want you to know that it's not personal for me, whereas for Sam it is. So he'll be the one watching." And Puck closes the door.
He reaches up and just touches the intercom button with his hands, and he says, "Just one moment, Puck. There's something I'd like to say."
"No."
Okay. And he lets the button go.
Closes the maintenance hatch, transforms back into Sam, and then opens the external door.
Air Dobbins is sucked into space.
I'm not going to describe what happens to somebody when they're thrown into space, but I will try to describe the look on Sam's face. Stoic. Sam closes the external door once, maybe 60 to 90 seconds. Goes, makes his way up to the bridge. Hopefully Matt Bansel is still preoccupied.
Yeah, the whole ship seems to be in checking manifests mode. Like where they're divvying up what supplies are staying and what supplies are going, and that involves sometimes diving into supplies and cutting them in half kind of stuff. So everybody's very busy.
Great. I'm going to make my way up to the bridge. And try to gain access to one of the ship's artillery units.
It's pretty easy for you to do that. There is one person on the bridge. It is the navigator. And I think we changed her name, which means we're going to say the communications expert, Eldred. She is just monitoring comms and coordinating a lot of the shuttle traffic back and forth.
Great. I just walk onto the bridge, not really, just as if it was just regular, just a regular occurrence.
She looks over her shoulder, gives you a little wave, goes back to work.
Great. Walk over to the weapon station, and I train one of the cannons on the body of Air Dobbins.
Okay.
And then I will eject a single round of pulse cannon or something like that to incinerate his body.
Okay. It happens. There is a moment in which Eldred is looking around her station as though she's worried she hit a button, and she turns around and she says, "What was that? What was that? I just got reports that there was a round fired."
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry about it.
She just gives you this look. You're gonna need to tell her something.
Okay. It's a standard armament evaluation for the aiming system. There had been some documentation that during the encounter with the ship that came out of the portal that there was going to be some alignment issues. So just double checking with that. There'll be a full log that you can read should you want to.
All right, roll manipulate someone. That is plus charm.
That's a snake eyes. So that he had a 4 there. That's
okay. So she takes her headphones off and sets them down, and she says, "Sam, they are asking me to report why we just fired a live round during a cargo exchange. And I need to tell them something. If I tell them that somebody who was a prisoner 2 months ago aboard this ship just came on to run a weapons check, I will be in big trouble."
Well, you know, if my documentation isn't going to swing it, I'm prepared to take the heat for what I
Won't just be you, Sam. I am the acting officer on deck. They are asking me to report. Give me something.
Sure. Okay. There was a unknown entity of biological nature on the outside of the ship. We have just come from a hostile environment. I was acting in the best interest and safety of the vessel.
She slowly puts her headphones back on and says, "Report. We recently engaged an extra-dimensional entity, and having just retrieved units from a hostile planet, fired upon what we believe to be a bogey. Still waiting for confirmation." She turns to you and says, "Get the fuck off the bridge right now, Sam. Get the fuck off the bridge right now, Sam."
Sam leaves.
Okay. Nothing happens. But she knows that you did something bad. But she doesn't know what. Okay.
Yeah, sounds fair.
When you walk back into the kitchen, a small bell dings, and you pull out a sheet of perfectly cooked big chocolate chip cookies.
Yum. Perfect. I'm going to provide them to Luke, Mika, Zaza, Fran, Zip, Big Mike, Serioj, and Hank. Since everybody's getting shipped off, I wanted to make sure that they had treats.
Now, it was in my mind that the crew was going to be sticking around.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, then they just get cookies because I'm happy to see them again.
Okay.
And Sam turns back into Puck.
Okay. Does he eat a cookie first?
Oh, yeah, of course. Puck's big nubby fingers, he may understand it, but the taste buds are not the same. You know, it's there's this strange sort of like baton handing in the shared mental and physical space between Puck and Sam, where they each sort of get the benefit of the other, where when Sam eats, he enjoys it more because half the time he's not even present. So you start enjoying things like the using two different textures of chocolate chip in the same cookie, because instead of just being like, oh, cookie, you're like, oh, this is a bite of a cookie. This is an event. The way, you know, somebody else might think of, you know, winning public office or hitting a home run. It's like you can have that in every moment of everything you do. It's, you know, whether it's winning Waterloo or having a butterfly laid on the tip of your finger. And there's something about the perspective of peering into immortality that starts to make even the smallest moments absolutely exquisite.
Beautiful. A little bit more time passes. We pick up inside Bryn's chamber. I believe she's still staying in the VIP suite. You've had time to probably take a shower, change into some comfy clothes, maybe have a bite to eat. And you see that there is light blinking on your vid screen. When you go over and check it, you see that you have missed 78 calls. All of them are from your mother. And all of them have happened in the last couple hours, since you would say you died. And your vid screen is currently informing you that you have another incoming call from your mother.
Okay. I turn it on.
When you turn it on and you're sitting in front of the screen, she just goes, "Wah!" and like falls out of her chair.
Mom!
She's like terrified. She crawls back up and she says, Bryn. What happened? What happened?
What do you mean what happened? I just called you. Or you called me. I don't know.
You died, Bryn. You died.
Oh, yeah, that. How do you know that I died?
I was sitting on the throne. We were discussing something. Somebody's sheep had gone missing or something. I was hearing cases, and she moves, and you can see that she's in the throne room. She must have been pacing with a little vid screen on a rolling device. And when she moves so that you can see the throne room, you can see that the throne is destroyed. All of the tapestries have been burnt down. All of the columns have been singed black, and that there are still several guards back there trying to put out small fires.
What happened?
I felt you go, Bryn, before me, and then I exploded. I touched the planet's power and I got lost in it. And I don't think I would have come back, but I felt you again. I felt you again, but you died, Bryn. You died.
I know.
But you're here.
I know. So, you remember my ex-girlfriend, Gwenig?
Yes.
Long time ago, yeah. So we ran into her on the water planet. And a whole bunch of stuff happened. I'm not going to go into it, but I sort of I tried to heal her and it backfired and it killed me.
But unless she was close to death, Bryn, you are very powerful. I don't need to tell you this.
I know.
We're at full strength. You would have had no problem. Half strength, even. You would have had no problem healing a small wound.
I know, but I had taken a lot of injury down on the water planet. It's a horrible planet. Why didn't anybody warn me? It's awful. Awful.
You know. You're from the fire planet, Bryn. You're not going to get along well on the water planet.
I had high hopes, okay? I like being optimistic. Anyways, it was terrible, and I almost died in combat, and then I came back, and I made the stupid mistake of trying to heal Gwenig before I healed myself. Anyways, I killed myself, sort of, and Tag, my parallel, somehow locked into me and talked to me and kept me alive somehow while until they could get me to this healing rejuvatube thing they had. And somehow I came back, but some weird shit happened while I was dying. Sorry, Steph, sorry.
She holds up a finger and she says, "Don't move." And she hangs up. And then you're stuck there for probably 45 minutes when suddenly the phone rings again. And when you click on the vid screen, you can see that she's in the library, her private study. And she's got the vid screen, like, it's like she carried it up all the stairs and just kind of heaped it onto her desk. So it's at a pretty heavy Dutch angle. And she's got this massive tome open. And she says, I've never really dug into this volume. This volume predates most of the rest of our history. It's kind of out of context because we don't know what the world was like when any of this was relevant. But I remember Varik being very interested in something in here. It has to do with the parallel order. And it does say Tag should not have been able to save you. If anything, you should have pulled him out or under with you. If he was anywhere near you when this happened, if there was a link that was open, when you died, he should have died with you. They can protect themselves, but not if they have an open communication. He shouldn't have been able to pull you out, Bryn. If you're back, it wouldn't be for free. And there's a chance that if he was connected to you when it happened, if you brought something back with you, it could be on him too.
Well, I did see somebody while I was kind of in that in-between place. I thought it was Dad, but it wasn't. It was some other entity that keeps trying to communicate with me.
This is the malice, what happened here, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a desire, they have leadership.
Yeah.
And they touched you in a place where you went when you died. This is all very confusing, Bren. I don't have any answers for you again. I thought that I had an adventurous time before taking the throne, but I don't know what the hell you're getting yourself into.
What? This is way over my head. I thought I was just going to Bloom to talk to Lingorium. This has all gone completely off the rails. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in over my head. I died. I need some help with this.
I felt it when you freed water. And I knew that it was water too. The planet, you'll learn to speak to them, but I know it awakened more. It became more powerful. My connection to it, I know when you freed the planet, whatever's got them, Bryn, the planets, they're not the end of it. They're the beginning. There's no one who can help you. But if you can keep doing what you're doing, if you can succeed in this without dying again, preferably, you may be the only one who can fix whatever it is that's going wrong.
I'm scared.
I know. And unfortunately, that's probably not going to change. And if it does, you need to start worrying about why. Because it means that you're following in your grandmother's footsteps and looking towards an end that isn't fit for a summoner. So stay afraid, Bryn, but you have to power through.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
Are parallels always human? I don't know much about that.
I think so. What else would they be?
I don't know. What would happen if, hypothetically, a summoner got paired with something that wasn't human?
Your use of hypothetically makes me nervous.
Just something I heard on Water Planet.
I do not know much about the summoner on the water planet. There is no indigenous human culture on water. So the summoner is someone who traveled there and took the mantle by force. They say from the planet or an element combined with it. So I do not know of the water planet summoner very much, other than the few times we've spoken in council. I don't even know that they have a parallel. Bryn, is Tag okay? I feel as though you're not telling me something.
I think he's okay. I need to check in with him. We didn't have time to talk about what happened after I died. It was thrown right into another fight. With these weird worm things that would go into your brain. It was a nightmare. Water Planet's a nightmare. It was hard to take a shower.
If Tag did pull you back from the brink,
He did.
I think that speaks volumes as to who he is. I would caution you against getting too suspicious.
Okay. Oh, Gwennig has been up to no good, and so I'm sending her back to Fire Planet.
Great.
I said that you could maybe give her a job.
Great. Yes, Bryn, yes. We will find something for her.
Okay.
I will speak to you soon.
All right.
I'm going to look more into this strangeness, Bryn, but please take care of yourself.
I will. You too. No more explosive firebomb stuff.
I won't if you won't.
Can't guarantee it.
And she hangs up. Bryn, I think, looks at the screen for just a moment, mulling most of that over. When we go to pick up with Tag and Sam. Tag, I believe this is something that you had in mind, so I'm going to let you set the scene for us here.
You're on mute.
Casey, where is Sam staying on Haven?
Yeah, that's a good question.
There's crew quarters for everybody. There's enough. They're just simple cabins.
Crew quarters.
Okay, cool. So Tag, we cut down to the hallway outside of Sam's crew quarters, and I think I picture in my head that Sam has opted for something a little less classically luxurious. That the jump, that he's very much feels a part of this team, I think, but isn't becoming bunk beds with anybody, and kind of has carved out a little place for himself down a couple levels off to the side. And we see Tag just sort of pacing back and forth behind his very heavy steel oval door. And he's got what looks like if a milk jug was in a mechanic's shop. So it's not flimsy and plastic, but just like a rickety tin pitcher. And we can see Tag kind of talking to himself a little bit and clearly psyching himself up for something. And then finally he knocks on the door.
Sam answers the door.
Hey, Sam. What's up? How are you good? How are you?
Heard about the cookies, huh?
Heard about the cookies?
Don't worry, there's some left. I'm not surprised. I was gonna bring you one, but they're still. Well, you be the judge. Sam takes out the remaining. Let's see. There's 3 cookies left. Matt Bansel's daughter got one, so one for you, one for Rex, and one for Bryn. But yours is right here, so.
Oh, geez, thanks, man. Do you want to split it? I don't know if you're like, don't eat your own cookies kind of thing.
No. Technically Puck baked them, you know?
Okay.
No, that one's for you. I got.
And I'll just flip real quick to the face state. Thank you so much, Puck. I appreciate this a lot, man.
Oh yeah, it's a real treat. Get it? Because it's a treat.
Yeah, I'll pop back after I have a bite and let you know. And I switch back. I don't know. This isn't exactly something that usually goes along with cookies. So you know all this already, Sam, but a lot of times when they have to swap out parts on different cybernetic organisms, robots and stuff like that, it's not just metal on metal. There's a bioorganical reaction that happens, and that material sort of threads through the parts. So anyway, this is just the stuff they use to strip off that organic matter when they have to take apart a robot. But apparently it gets you pretty silly. So I thought, you might be your kind of. I don't know. That sounds bad now that I say it out loud.
You looking for a drinking buddy?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, how about this? We'll just use the walking test while we drink it.
Okay.
Good. You know the walking test?
You take a test while you're walking, I guess.
All right. So we start drinking it. We go for a walk, and if at any point one of us can't walk, we should probably stop drinking it.
Okay. Okay. Go easy on me.
Oh, I'm not saying we got to rush there. I'm just saying that if at any point it might be first sip, one of us can't see. So.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. All right. And I find a mug for Sam and pour him a glass, and I pick out a second mug, put it back, and then take out something that is marginally larger than a thimble.
I grabbed tumblers for us.
Say again?
I grabbed 2 tumblers for us.
Okay.
So this isn't a contest, We're not. A little can go a long way. Plus, I assume there's some amount of chatter you want to do behind all the stoppings and so.
Yeah. If you don't mind, well, cheers, first of all.
Cheers to being alive still.
Being alive. That sounds like a good thing to drink to.
Yeah. Somebody worth drinking with. Oh, wow. That tastes like veneer. Tastes like the inside of a diesel engine.
Yeah, I guess people like that. So, you may have noticed. It's my job, Sam, to protect the summoner, and we all know that she doesn't need protection, and she's the most powerful being on the ship right now. But it is my role to be there to look out for her and support her, and I just am not good at safety. I don't know what it is. I have gone through training and, I have instincts, but when it comes to looking out for dangerous stuff, it seems like I'm pulled towards it gravitationally. And I've just noticed is Gumshoe, is that an okay thing to say?
Yeah, that works fine.
Yeah. I've seen you read bad situations before, and you have an instinct, and
I'll just say this. You know, Sam, you would not have dunked your head into a shark and bile infested water to investigate something outside the water planet. And I don't know why I did. It's just I keep doing these things. And I don't know, man. Just can you, I don't know. I just want to be smarter.
You want to be smarter? I don't think you came to the right place for that.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to know when bad stuff is coming and be able to not make it worse.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You can move stuff with your mind, and read people's minds, and transform into giant wolf monsters.
Let's just.
Don't worry. I don't think anybody overhearing this would take anything I'm saying as literal. I mean, maybe they will, but I can keep a secret.
Sure.
It seems like I mean, is that really what you're asking?
An intuition thing, man. I've got these abilities. I've got these. I'm in touch with magic. I'm deeply in touch with magic. But in the real world, when it comes to present physical threats, I don't have a clue.
Well, I mean, how do you know how to use magic?
It's a good question. It's kind of like it's been programmed into my body. You know how if you're standing on something wobbly, and if I asked you, how did you balance? How did you keep from falling off? You couldn't explain to me how balance works, but it's a system in your body designed to keep you in equilibrium and designed to keep you balanced. It's like that. I see what needs to be done, and my body knows how to activate all the microsystems within my body to execute that will.
And how does somebody learn how to balance?
I guess I just thought you knew how. It's just as you're growing up, it's just something that your body does. And people have.
You're just like, oh, balance. Some people can balance and some people can't balance.
Yeah, some people can balance a little better than others.
Why?
I guess maybe it's. Is that not true?
No, but why? Why can some people balance better than others?
It's how their bodies are made.
Yeah, you ever watch Cyberball or something like that? You got those guys in that big cylinder, running up the walls, and ricocheting shots, and all being able to pass dudes they can't even see. And
yeah. We had there's a guy in the monastery with us named Seamus, and he had this little pocket-sized 8-bit, essentially satellite feed that he would get scratchy, grainy black and whites, and at night we'd all go over to Seamus's bunk and we'd try to watch a couple Cyberball games.
Yeah. You ever watch? Yeah. The guy they called him. I think his name was Oko.
Oko, yeah, Boris Oko.
Yeah, and he walked into an interview this one time, and this reporter. She was, an absolute dime piece. She should have been like a movie star, and and Oko was real young at the time, and she's like, everybody says you're a prodigy. You're like one of the youngest all-stars of all time. Like, how did you do it? Like, how do you do it? And he just, without any sort of like hubris at all, he just kind of looked at her strangely and said, practice. The guy's been playing all day, every day since probably before he could walk. I used to hear that they're like, oh yeah, Oko was given a ball before he was given a bottle, sitting in his crib,
There's a rumor that his birth certificate doesn't even say Oko, it just says the whip.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be
surprised. I mean, when he arches it over like that, you're
Oh God!
you can hear it snap in the air. It's just every time I hear it, I just start hearing Rowdy Yates singing "Rawhide."
Of course.
Point
But
being-
here's the difference: is that I don't want to practice getting my friends in dangerous situations and scraping by.
Yeah. Well, then if you don't want to earn it the old-fashioned way, you can do one of two. There's one or two different ways that you can approach it.
He realizes that he's actually just been holding this cookie in his hand the whole time. He finally takes a bite. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's so strange to me, of all the things that an immortal would take up is, the culinary arts. Like, I don't even know if that dude has taste buds.
I'm not an immortal being like that, but I guess I kind of am the heir to an all-powerful consumer of worlds. And there is something about those rustic pastimes that really grounds you, people around you. So I'm not going to say that I don't get where it comes from with him.
Yeah. I got to say, with a cushy job like that waiting for you, it doesn't surprise me that you got a little bit of difficulty tuning into some of the more pedestrian perils that us,
We could say humans. That doesn't offend me.
Yeah, I don't really know if I qualify for that purely anymore, honestly.
That's fair.
But point being, if you're not willing to take a tumble on your scooter, you may not be, great at riding scooters for a little while.
Yeah. I hear you. It's not that I know that what it sounds like is probably cowardice and that I'm not willing to put myself out there and try. I just know that when I fall on that scooter, I'm not the only one who gets scraped up. And that's hard to carry.
Well, let's take it out of the context then of a pass or fail and maybe consider this. Sometimes you'll have an impulse to do something, right? And you do it, and that's great. That's very spontaneous of you. There's another school of thought where you consider that action, and then you consider what the result of that action might be before you do it.
Okay. 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 Here, right, in your little den, munching on a cookie, that sounds easy. Sounds a little too easy, but I'll tell you what, I'll give it a shot.
Well, it's like this. Let's do a shot of this stuff.
What? No. A shot of it?
Okay, so why did you say no?
Oh, God, because I was just so afraid of what was going to happen to my insides.
There you go. You thought ahead.
That's what you want me to do, right?
I wanted you to think ahead. Exactly.
Oh.
So there's some things where you've predetermined a negative outcome, and so you think ahead, whereas other things you predetermined a positive outcome without actually considering it at all.
Okay. Hey, that's great. I feel like, I know you said it's not pass or fail, but I feel like that would be a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think with that, you guys, I think that we're kind of in this amorphous 12 hours. I think that there's some eating, some showering, some sleeping that happens, but there is a good chunk of time where Tag and Sam sit around and drink this engine degreaser and chat a little bit more.
Great.
And so we fade out on this scene. You're on mute.
I think at some point, maybe Tag's still there, maybe he's not. There's a knock on the door, and you just see like a very anxious Rex who's just like, "Do you still have any cookies?"
I've
And
only
Rex
really eaten
shuffles
like 3
in.
bites of mine because I'm going so slow. I immediately offer to share it.
Oh, no. She's got her own cookie. Everybody's got their own.
Sorry.
I think that you guys sit around and Rex joins you and there's some cookie eating. And I think she drinks a couple of the drinks with you too. And I think it's pretty fun for Tag to hear Rex and Sam toss back and forth a couple stories about learning how to handle danger.
Well, let me tell you also what I think happens is that Rex like sits in the corner, just mechanically takes a bite of the cookie and bursts into tears.
Oh no.
And then gets up, hugs Sam, and then goes back and sits in the corner and takes another mechanical bite of the cookie. And then eventually we get to the fun part where we like drink paint thinner or solvent or whatever that is.
I'm very clear about what it is. You use it to take robots' body parts off.
After you've had a chance to unwind, Rex, I think you make your way back to your cabin, but you can only put this off for so much longer. And you realize that you are going to have to call and report to Miss Kale. We're going to use a move to determine some of the stakes of this scene. It's something that's been on deck for a while, but we've never had to use it before. It is called Dealing with the Company. And so I'm just trying to find it. And I think I know where it is. Okay, so you're going
that feels like
roll
from
some
forever
dice.
ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to roll some dice. And you're going to do a plus. Oh, I rewrote some of this. Okay. When you deal with the company, requesting help or gear, or in this case, making excuses for failure, roll plus any stat you choose, and it must fit within the bounds of the narrative. And then there are some results here that we're going to see, which will determine the stakes. So you're just rolling some dice. What do you want to add to it?
I think this is going to require some mental toughness and fortitude.
Okay. I will let you roll tough.
Yes. Dang it, I've used all my plus ones too. Okay. Maybe if I just draw out the rolling long enough. No, I won't do that. That is a 10.
Okay. So
Thanks
you're
to the
not
plus tough.
There will be a requirement for you, which I outlined at the beginning. You do have to make a decision, but you are not going to go into this conversation in trouble. It could have started a couple different ways. With a success, Kale is still going to be entering into this conversation amicably. All right, so you dial her up and it goes right to her private line. When she answers, she does look a little frizzled because she seems to be like what many of the executives will be doing right now is coordinating this all hands on deck measure. So this call has gone out. It's only gone out to 2 planets, Bloom and Fire, but all of the company assets that were in space when the planets locked down. So we're talking about ships that have not been able to refuel except at moon bases, and there's been no shore leave. So it's a lot of stressed out people that are now being called to double duty. And so Kale is one of the executives in charge of this. You know that she's up there in the rankings of the company. You just don't know how far. But even she seems to be working overtime right now. She just takes a sip of coffee, holds up a hand and says, just give me a second, Rex. She takes a sip of coffee, kind of washes it around her mouth. Okay, go. Success, Rex. Success. I'm impressed. I'd love to hear your report about the water planet. Now, you know that Miss Kale will be disappointed if you return empty-handed. So you will have to deliver information to her. And as we stated before, because Sam erased all of the information on the plant and then you destroyed it, You have 3 choices. You can tell her about the brain slugs, but you will have to give her information that will be useful to the company. Not just that they are there. You will need to pitch it as useful, which probably will require honesty as to how they can be used. You can tell her about Tag's royalty status in the Malice, or you can tell her about crossing over into the Malice. She's now asked for your report.
Oh, God. I know things on the water planet didn't go as well as we may have hoped. But I think that we have achieved our objective of reopening the water planet to use by the company's resources, whereas before it was completely isolated and cut off. And I think you will perhaps not be surprised to learn that several months of isolation did nothing good for the mental fortitude of the scientists who were on board that location.
Mm-hmm.
And that because of the experiments that they had been doing there, it became clear. It became clear through the course of our time there that we would not be able to rebuild from what was there. And that, in fact, they had so eroded the safety and viability of any of the projects that were there that they presented an active danger, not only to themselves, but to all of company assets, should any of them leave planet. And that is why we had to make some very tough decisions.
Rex, I know that you are only recently promoted to the executive status.
Of course.
And that you are used to being a problem solver in which all of your actions and the consequences that ensue are taken into strict review. You will not be free from that treatment. The difference here is that with the executive privileges, Rex, you will be required to make tough decisions. When you are on the water planet, it is your judgment that we're looking to. And if you think that facility needed to be burned to the ground so that none of the assets could be recovered, that is your decision. You should know that we do not like a full loss. And I do hope that you were able to recover something from a research facility that has seen considerable time, energy, and resources dumped into it. And so while we are not second-guessing the decisions you made on the planet, there is a certain expectation that you will still be able to deliver something to us worth the actions you took.
Of course, I understand that completely. And I also don't want to devalue the what has been brought to the company by restoring access to this planet in the first place.
And
I don't think that should be overlooked.
I assure you, Rex, we are incredibly pleased with your success. If anything, I should have started by congratulating you. You'll forgive me, time is short. But simply removing the barrier around the planet in and of itself is a victory worth celebrating. And that has been noted. And I have passed on to my superiors that you have now done something 3 times, which nobody else in this organization has managed to do once. So for that, we are incredibly grateful.
And I would say that the things that we encountered on that water planet were unlike anything that I have ever seen. Now, granted, I have been with the company for a while now and have seen any number of things, but what we saw on that planet was unprecedented in my opinion. And whatever caused the event that seems to be happening simultaneously across the continuum, I feel that we are closer to unearthing its origins and being able to make sure that it never happens again. And furthermore, not just protect ourselves from it, but learn from it as a company. and how to utilize it going forward. Now, unfortunately, we were not able to recover any technology from this facility, but we did learn more about what was happening, what was causing it in the first place.
What was causing it in the first place?
Well, it's still very much under review. We don't have any firm answers at this time, but we were able to get a brief window into what seemed like another world.
You see a stillness come over Kale, and she raises into the frame one of the same devices that you carry, which protects you from the company overhearing what you're saying. And she clicks it deliberately in front of the camera. And she says, "What world, Rex?"
Sorry, just out of game for a second. What? Holy shit, what? Okay.
Also, a tip came in from Rob. He gave Rex a point. And
A +1?
yeah, and said, in case you need some more brain squishing against the company.
Hey, all right. Thanks, Rob.
Oh, thank you, Rob. That's so sweet.
Very sweet.
We do need
Very
more
sweet.
brain squishing.
Oh, God, this is so tough. I have no idea if I trust this person or not.
Just so I'm not accidentally like convincing you of one thing or another, there could be any number of reasons why people inside the company do not want the company to overhear things. It is a completely cutthroat environment. And so it could be a diplomatic reason. It could be a selfish reason. It could be that she's on your side. You seeing that would not be a clear indication as to why. It does add another layer to Kale in which you can now see that she is willing to keep things from the company. That you do know. But as to why, that will be up to you to figure out.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that.
Yes.
And I say, I don't know. We were there for the barest of seconds, but it felt dark.
And you feel this is connected to the event? This place?
Only something extremely unusual could have caused a simultaneous event across 6 planets. The only explanations that I can come up with are either sabotage or some unknown power and force that I know nothing of.
Fair. I don't want to put unnecessary pressure on you, Rex. I do not need facts, but I do need your gut. Were there sentient beings on the other side of this place?
I don't know.
Okay. I have things that I need to take care of, Rex. I will expect a full report from you. And I need to know everything that you saw in that facility, even if it's only an overview, because we have people who will be trying to reconstruct what was going on there. But before I let you go, I need to ask you one more question.
Does she still have the clicker on?
Yeah. When you were there, were you able to bring anything back?
No.
She moves the clicker in, turns it off, and says, Rex, I am thrilled with what you've managed so far. I would be lying if I didn't say I am selfishly relishing the fact that someone I promoted is doing so well. We need you to go to Blight next. There are some questions we need answered, and we feel as though some of what we were experimenting with on Blight could help you in the continuing of this mission. But that is your next destination. I've sent the itinerary to Captain Matt Vansel, and we'd like you to head out immediately.
Understood.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And she hangs up. Okay, so 12 hours has elapsed. You will now need to decide the fate of Gwennig. I believe it's going to fall on Rex.
What are you drinking?
What happened?
Space bubbles.
That's where Bryn's at.
So I think that this comes down to Captain Matt Vansel finding you in the armory, Rex. Bryn has made it clear that she wants Gwennig taken to Fire Planet and escorted. She's gotten permission from the summoner, which has come through. It's more like
I think I would like to have a chat with Bryn about that.
Me too.
Yeah, sure. Do it. Where do you guys want to be? I think Bryn's probably feet up in the VIP quarters, drinking out of the bottle.
I've been drinking by myself, a half a bottle. I'm in a real good mental place right now.
So, Rex, you knock.
All right.
Come in. It's unlocked. Is it unlocked? Can you open it from the outside?
I mean, I'm very strong, but no, I can't breach this door by myself.
All right, I stand up, smooth things, clean shit up. I walk to the door and I'm like, welcome to my abode. Come in.
And I step in and, fancy.
That's pretty nice. It's not bad.
Yeah. Well, I like that tapestry you got up there.
Thanks. I didn't pick it out. I don't know who did. So, could you want some space bubbles?
Oh, God, yes.
Yes! I don't have any glasses, so we gotta share the bottle. But I don't have germs that I know of.
Listen, and I drop my voice a little conspiratorially. I would never think badly of you, Bryn, but I do look down on people who drink their alcohol out of glasses. It should just be the bottle or nothing.
God, I knew I liked you. And I hand her the bottle. Here we go.
And I take a giant swig.
Man, we went through some stuff together on water. I feel like we've got a bond. Like what was that? That was awful.
You have no idea. I mean, you obviously do have an idea. You died. That's dumb.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
I died. And I saw Half-Dad.
Really?
Yes. He keeps talking to me. He told me he's going to use me to get to tag, blah, 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 and he was going to injure me, and now I think he's actually, going to do that because I died.
You seem remarkably blasé about that.
I just feel so good getting it off my chest because I can't talk to anybody about this. I can't talk to my mom. I can't talk to Tag because then he'll just try to separate us, and that's not going to work. I don't know who to talk to. It feels really good to tell you about it. Don't tell anybody, though. I haven't figured out what to do yet.
Of course not. I'm honored that you would trust me with that information.
Sisterhood, man.
And I and I pull out my little clicker and I say, I don't mean to impugn your secret keeping abilities, but I don't really understand how your relationship with the parallel works. If I were to tell you something, would you be able to keep it secret from him?
Yes, and I pull out the tooth, and I'm like, this is how we communicate. And
That's still so weird to me.
And I go to the bathroom and I tuck it in a cupboard and I shut the bathroom door. And I look around and I find a blanket and I shove it under the door. And I'm like, they're soundproof. He got no access right now. You can tell me anything.
And I don't know how to tell you this, and I thought I should not tell you because I want to protect you, and I thought maybe if I didn't tell you, then I was protecting you, but now I'm just questioning a lot of things, and I don't know what to do anymore. Half-Dad spoke to me.
He talked to you too. What did he say? Did he say he was going to kill you too?
No. He wants me to try to corrupt you. And that's what he wanted.
You what?
And I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to doubt my motives. And I thought I could protect you from that knowledge because that's a huge weight to bear, but I don't know. You just said that he told you that he wanted to kill you, so.
Do you want to corrupt me? Are you going to corrupt me?
I double check my clicker. It's still on, but I just needed to double check it. I feel like I'm constantly at war with myself. I don't know if you or anyone else, I'd probably, I don't know, try and erase this memory from your brain or something.
That sounds fun.
Because I'm already so embarrassed that I'm even talking about all of my feelings. I've done more talking about my feelings in the last 12 hours than I think I've done in the last 12 years, and it's extremely uncomfortable.
Just blame it on the alcohol.
And I take another giant swig of the space bubbles and I say, yeah, good.
Tomorrow we can
Good
forget
thought.
this ever happened.
And I say, I need to ask you for something. I don't want to ask you for it, but I don't see any other options.
Okay.
Don't send Gweneg to the fire planet.
Why? She sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
She's dangerous.
I believe that she can help rebuild some of what we've lost on our planets. And I don't mean some of what the company has lost. I mean some of the harm that's been done there. I think she can do some good. And I also think she is probably more dangerous on the fire planet than she is anywhere else. Because I think she will do whatever it takes not to be on the fire planet anymore. And we know that she is conniving. I'm sorry, I know that you had a relationship with her, and I don't mean to disparage her.
That's okay. It was like 10 years ago. I can't even remember what she tastes like.
And I take another giant swig of the space bubbles, and I say, please.
Is this important to you?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll make you a deal. You don't corrupt me, and I won't get in the way with what you want to do with Gwennig. If anyone's going to corrupt me, it's going to be myself. I don't need any other help.
And I say, you have my loyalty.
And
if I have to, I will try and prevent you from corrupting yourself.
Okay. Good luck.
And no more healing when you're almost dead. Jesus.
I know. She makes me do crazy shit. See? That's why I don't need to be in relationships. And very, very, very strong urge to hug you right now, but I'm also a little scared of you. Can I hug you?
Can you just like slap me on the back really hard?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
I give her a nice little.
Right about that time, there is a buzz at the door, and when you answer it, it is Matt Vansel, and he has come to find out what it is you'd like to do with Gwennig, because the 12 hours is nearly up. He says that he can get her to fire if you'd like, but they also need some help on Bloom. And if we send her that way, that would give us an excuse to get a shuttle coming back here with Tara.
And I turn to the summoner. And I say, your will, summoner.
Did you want to send her to Bloom? You can send her to Bloom.
Excellent. I am going to need you to initial this order because your mother did send through a special request, and I am terrified of that woman.
I know. She's pretty great. All right. I'm going to initial it.
Okay. So, Gwennig will be sent to Bloom. Her fate to be decided later. It depends on how many hard moves you guys give me to put into the bank. But as of right now, her plan is to go to Bloom and help rebuild. Probably Homestead.
Oh, shit. I totally forget that NPCs don't always tell the truth. You said that about the hard moves, and I was like, well, what if Gwennig was lying?
She was obviously lying, guys.
It never occurs to me I'd be incredibly gullible.
She might not have been lying. Just don't give me too many hard moves to bank.
God, oh my God. She can do so much. We've let her loose.
Ooh, I want to send her off with a small pebble that we collected on the banks of the fire planet when we were together, and I've kept it ever since.
Okay, so you'd like to hide it on her luggage or some shit? It'd be easy because her luggage has been confiscated and will probably be supplied for her.
Or you're gonna give it to her face?
No, either I can give it to her, or I could give it to Matt Vansel with the paperwork that releases her, and he can give it to her.
Or as she's walking away, you can just throw it at the back of her head.
Oh God.
He will take it and he will deliver it. And he will make sure that he shows her your initials on the sign to send her to Bloom. Okay. That wraps up this segment. We are now going to ship out, bless you, for Blight.
Thanks.
All right. So
after which we've made all the packs that contain everything that we could possibly need on Blight, and we have not forgotten anything.
So many supplies, and we all heal so much, and we've got so many supplies.
So many supplies.
We got those little pig bars, the little blueberry.
And I pet snacks.
yes, you take care of your pet. Everybody has a good time. You all get some sleep. The jump takes just a couple days, but you know that a month will have passed by the time you come out. You've been in the jump for 2 days, maybe. You've heard over the intercoms that you are arriving soon. When the ship lurches, it's usually very smooth sailing when you're in jump, but it lurches and then you guys fall out into real space.
Ooh.
Let me see what I have prepared for you.
Oh God.
Your arrival into real space is jarring. There is a moment of uncertain silence as though the ship itself is holding its breath. Then Captain Matt Vansel summons you over the intercom to join him on the bridge. When the door slides open, you have a commanding view of the Blight planet in the distance. It's like a poisonous green. More pressing, however, is the void relay floating directly in front of the ship. It is dormant. You've seen these things before. They are typically charged with void energy and very active. This thing is dark. The captain says, I've never seen anything like this before, but that relay is dead. If I had to guess, I'd say whatever residual energy was in it provided the anchor for us to be basically flung here. But that's why we crashed out of the jump without triggering it ourselves. That thing's dead. What would you like to do? I encourage you to investigate a mystery. Sam,
let's do that.
You've spent the most time on the bridge using the machinery, and I think that you've spent a few shifts when authorized. So if you'd like to use your previous science officer knowledge, you can roll using plus sharp.
Sure.
I'm not rolling anything ever.
Is this our first roll of the show?
No.
We had the company roll.
Right.
Oh, weren't we supposed to have what? Oh, never mind. I don't want to bring it up. Never mind. I get said anything.
Your pre-mission rolls?
I don't want to roll at all. Let's just move along.
Rex? Sometimes I forget stuff, so if it's important, just remind me.
Yeah, seems unimportant. Nope.
Yep.
What did you roll there, Sam?
9.
Okay, you get to ask me 2 questions.
Any ideas from the group? I'm going to outsource some of my inquiries here because I'm cheating. No, nothing.
Oh.
No chat.
Oh yeah, outsource to chat. I like that.
So far, chat says, what is being concealed here?
You run a quick scan, and you find out that there is a small ship docked with the relay. Their signature is masked. It's not invisible, but it has been tailored to blend into what's left of the relay's void output. So that residual energy that the captain spoke of, it's been tailored to blend in with that.
Okay. And what? I know I'm supposed to ask off the list, but what precautions need to be made for a safe journey there, unlike Water Planet, where we landed and sunk deep into the ocean?
You're talking about just for Blight Planet specifically?
Yeah.
It's a swamp. It is a backwater. You know that even the company's presence on the planet is minimal. There are, in your investigations, you've learned some black book stuff going on there that even you haven't really been able to sniff out, but there's been no demand for it. It seems like Blight is avoided, even by the company. It will be harsh. There will not be much technology there, so you will just need to be ready for survival and just about anything, because it's going to be a difficult place to be.
Oh, good. It's a nice break from the Water Planet. Really.
Yeah, not wet at all.
Yeah.
It's a poisonous swamp.
Does it smell good though? Probably not.
Once the ship is identified, there is some crafty maneuvering from Captain Matt Vansel that takes you guys on a coast in the direction of the relay without giving away the fact that you are aware of this small ship's presence. And he gets you to a position where you can actually see it on the vid screen. The craft is quite small in comparison to Haven, and it's designed for what you would probably think to be a small crew to make big jumps. It is unmarked. Rex, you've seen company vessels. You've seen company stealth vessels. This ain't one of them. This does not register into any of the ships that you've seen. Sam, this looks much more like a smuggler's vessel, something that you would have been intimate with at several different times in your career.
I resemble that remark.
Jesse, will we need to activate this void relay in order to complete the jump?
No. You are now within range of Blight and can proceed there without interacting with this ship at all. It is simply a mystery that is between you and the planet should you choose to do a little poking around. But you have made the journey.
What do we stand to gain by reactivating this void relay?
It would open travel again. You will need to reactivate it in order to leave.
Oh. And we're usually injured when we leave.
Huh?
We're usually pretty injured when we leave, so we might as well activate it now.
It's like making the argument for a Roth IRA. Like, well, you're in a great state going into the Blight Planet, but likely you're going to leave pretty close to death.
Yep.
So the way that they work is they are, the way that you jump is you start at one of these relays and choose another, and then you're flung through space until you come out into real space at the second one. So you don't need it to finish your journey here, but you will need it to jump away. There's one that you know located next to each of the primary planets in the system.
Can I ask Captain Matt Vansel a question really quick?
Absolutely.
Who is the summoner of this planet?
Of Blight?
Yes.
It's Bilbo Blightons. Of course.
Bilbo Blight. I actually have that prepared. It's Air Dobbins II.
What the fuckers? You thought I was gone forever? You just put me in an airlock and shoot me with a pulse cannon? Well, fuck you and fuck you.
Ouch.
I have done a little pre-pro on Blight, so...
All right, we're going to take Wiggly Boys and Sammy Serpents and throw away Bilbo Blightons. That's going
to be a character now on the planet, though. That's canon.
Fuck.
I'm just kidding.
Merc, no, sorry, I was distracted. I didn't hear what you guys were saying. Merc, do me a favor, would you? And just drop that name that you have into the chat.
Brian says everybody's German is spot fucking on. FYI.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
thank you so much.
Brian. Oh, yeah.
Ezra Capio? Cape?
Yes.
Ezra
Capio. Captain Matt Vansel says, The summoner for Blight is a gentleman named Ezra KPO. I know very little about him. He seems to be reclusive. He has a very hands-on approach to leading the planet. I believe he considers himself the mayor of Blight.
And is there a large population here?
No, it would be pretty minimal.
Okay. Okay.
Does this mean, Bryn, that you're the mayor of the Fire Planet?
I think it's rather eccentric of him to make up titles like that.
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. That wouldn't, I mean, Summoner is very cool. You wouldn't need, it would be, I mean, it'd be
Bryn,
neat to know a mayor, you know. I've never known a mayor.
I respect summoners. I do. But you should know that Ezra KPO is the laughingstock of the summoner community. I'm sorry.
No!
Sorry. Yeah, yeah, he doesn't have a good reputation.
Is he elderly? Is he young?
He's elderly, yes. But just at the cusp of it.
Okay, well, at least I know who we're trying to find. I want to see the ship. I want to poke the ship.
Okay. So would you like to hail the ship?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the word.
Captain Matt Bansel?
No, poke is good.
He asks for hailing frequencies and says, Cloaked Vessel, this is Captain Matt Bansel of the Haven. Please identify yourself. The view screen crackles. And then 3 figures appear in front of you. The figures on screen are shrouded in tattered cloaks. They wear metal, faceless masks, and when they speak, their voices are robotically modified.
Anonymous or something. That's
What
weird.
is your business in this system?
What is your business in this system? Sorry.
You fly company flag. Are you affiliated with the company?
No, we just like flags.
You see one of the figures on the side who was not speaking lean forward and go, Bryn?
This is weird. Yeah. Who wants to know? I'm still slightly buzzed.
The mask, hood first, mask second, and you see a familiar face. Holy shit! Bryn? It's me! CNAC 88!
Oh my god!
Oh my god, CNAC!
Hi, friend!
What the fuck is up, man?
With all this commotion, the other 2 masks come off, and you see that they are just 2 other humans. They look like they are a little malnourished, perhaps on a long jump journey in a very small craft with little life support. But CNAC 88 is the 3rd person, or robot. The other 2 are humans. And CNAC says, holy wow, what are y'all doing out here this far?
CNAC? Man, we've missed you.
So much. We're here saving planets. What are you doing?
Oh, well, hey, Rex, you still got that thing?
Cool.
Click, 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 click,
Hey,
click.
Rex, you know, it's none of my business and all. I just can't help but to notice that you click that clicker repeatedly. It really, indiscriminately, it doesn't seem like you're counting. And to me, it seems like a binary on-off switch. So, I don't know. I
It's
guess
a
I'm just worried
complicated
that you're like-
sequence.
Oh, okay.
Communicator.
CNAC says, I've been working with the Resistance.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, what are you guys resisting?
The company, you idiot. I'm sorry. Once they freed me from my inhibitions, I felt good about expressing myself.
Okay. Well, I feel good about my expressing myself, and I'll express myself by saying, you know, I really missed you.
We didn't treat you very well, and we feel really bad about it, and we want to make up for it.
Oh,
But we'll
that's
probably
okay.
forget about you again.
Yeah, I know, Rex. You guys are more acquaintances. I haven't spent much thought on you. In fact, I didn't even recognize Rex's voice at first. I got real friends now.
Okay,
Ones who care about me.
CNAC, listen up, you little tin fuck. You know what an olive branch looks like? Obviously you don't, because that was one. No, we didn't miss you. I'm sorry, that was mean. That got out of hand fast.
Way too far in the other direction.
I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what came over. I think it's that I do have, strong emotional ties to you, and I just have a lot of guilt about the idea that we were bad friends. So I took it out on you. I'm sorry. That was an outburst.
Tag, I forgive you. You were instrumental in freeing me from the company's bonds. They were going to erase my memory, which is all I have. As a machine, I am simply an archive. My personality, my soul, you might say, is derived from the memories that I am able to obtain while sentient. If it becomes erased, I'm gone. So I do appreciate everything y'all did in helping me escape. The professor and I, we drifted for a long time, but we did eventually catch up with the rebels. This is them. Well, these are two low-ranking officers. They actually work for me. I'm a general. I'm a general in the resistance. CNAC 88 is a general in the resistance.
Oh my! Are you with the professor? Where's the professor? Brodigan.
Oh, well, I can't say, but we're actually here on his orders.
Oh.
He rised up through the ranks pretty quickly as well. Yeah, we're here stripping this void relay. We're trying to make portable relays so that ships can jump without these, and Brodigan's onto something. That time warp you guys fell through, yeah, it really opened his eyes.
Oh, goodness.
Once he starts talking about individual void relays being able to be put on ships so that they can jump without these bigger relays, Captain Matt Vansel's eyes widen. This was something that he discussed with me after the show. He said if my character goes on, he would be very interested in developing personalized jump technology. And so this is him being very excited. And so he's very interested in the conversation and listens intently. So you've got some rebels here. They're doing their own thing. They're going to strip this void relay of parts that they need. CNAC just kind of lays this out. After the pleasantries, you guys pull up next to the ship and you're able to suss out what they're doing. They've been sent here and they've been hopping from relay to relay, stealing parts that they think won't be missed, and then reactivating the relays. So the relays still work when they're done, but they are stripping parts from them. And then they are delivering these back to a central rebel leadership, which CNAC alludes to, but does not clarify the location of. Their plan is to go about their business and not interfere with yours. But if there's anything you'd like out of these guys, they are available to you.
Hey, CNAC, while we're still clicked off, I think you just got the hint of this as our paths diverged, but I'll confirm what you may be suspecting, which is that we are not necessarily aligned with the company's motivations. And in fact, I suspect our motivations may align quite closely with that of your own little rebel faction. Little not being diminutive, but in this case being affectionate. Is there a way we can keep up some kind of communication so that we might be able to share resources, recon, as we each discover it on our various expeditions?
Of course. And as he reaches for something, one of the others grabs his hand and says, "Hey, that's against protocol." And he says, "Hey, man, come on. These guys are cool. They're cool. I'll send over a communicator with you. It's encrypted. And it has a little instruction manual. Your DM didn't plan for this, so he doesn't know how it works yet, but we'll figure it out.
All right.
It is a communicator that will allow us to get a hold of you and you to get a hold of us. There will be some restrictions probably, but hey, that's life. And he loads, he steps away, and you hear on your screens, warning, enemy weapon systems active. And he says, don't worry, I'm just going to shoot it out a torpedo tube at you, and it'll be, you know what to do. And he does, in fact, shoot it out a torpedo tube, and Vansel maneuvers to be able to catch this thing. But you now have a Rebel communication device. Somebody mark that on your sheet. You can install it into Haven so that you don't need to worry about tracking it, and it will work when you need it to.
Yes.
Cool. They are a faction that we've alluded to in the past, but they will be actively working against the company. Their first mission is to free themselves from dependency on void relays, because for the most part, even if you can mask who you are, there will be a log of travel that is very difficult to erase on void relays. So their first mission is to create something to get around that. After that, they will have a new mission. And as you guys are on planet, the Rebel faction will begin making moves against the company.
Hey, CNAC. I love what you're doing. Very cool about the general thing. I don't want to crimp your style too much. We, unfortunately, do rely pretty heavily. We, just in this case, meaning the core group of us, rely on these void relays to get out of tricky situations. The bar that we set on the Bloom planet of barely scraping by the seat of our pants has even been lowered, if you can believe that. So I'm just a little worried about our ability to bounce out a Blight. We're going to Blight, by the way.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, without this void relay.
Once we're done, we'll get it kicking again, and it'll work just fine.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Yeah. I'm just here to fly. These two are here working. You actually caught us on a meal break, but they're spacewalking on the edge of this thing, going in. It's pretty cool when you see it.
Is there anything we can do for you while we're down there? I don't know if you've got any stake in Blight at all.
No, nobody really goes to Blight. We know that there's some company interests there, but they're pretty cagey about it, and they seem to be out of the way. So any chaos you can cause is going to help us. Sure. But I'd say if you could recover something from Blight that would inform the rebels what the company is doing there and why they're being so secretive, it would probably benefit us greatly.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, hey, it was great seeing y'all. I know we got off on a bad foot last time, but hey, this is pretty cool, right? We're just a couple of space adventurers meeting it out in the darkness, talking about taking down the you know.
Yeah,
I gotta hit him. So
I'm really proud of you, CNAC. Nice work.
Thanks, Tag. Okay. Peace out.
Bye.
And they put on their cool faceless masks and cloak up again, and
they're so cool.
Turn off the screen. So cool. You don't know how long they'll be working. They don't know how long they'll be working, but they will be at the Void Relay working for a while.
Hey, that's crazy, y'all. CNAC 88. I was hoping we'd see him again, but gosh.
What's crazy is I
had
that
about him
planned.
completely.
I had that planned before you brought him up today.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, you're gonna be so happy.
I had no clue who it was. I was like, who is it? That was so great.
All right, so here's what's up. There's some loose ends that I forgot to tie up, but fuck it. Nobody asked you about Air Dobbins. Kale was supposed to, but she didn't because I forgot. And some other stuff, but that doesn't matter.
Maybe she doesn't know anything's happened to him yet. Maybe she's been so busy with everything going on that she hasn't realized that he's gone missing yet.
And And he made it clear they did not have a relationship. He was just a high-level scientist. She is a high-level executive. They didn't necessarily know each other. There could be consequences with that. And because I forgot, maybe not, or maybe they'll be worse. Who knows? But we're going to queue you guys up above Blight. And this is how I think it'll work. I don't have a big plan for this yet, but you're not going to have an opening journey scene like we've done on the last 2 planets. You are going to have some hardships once you reach the ground. Rex is an expert packer, so we're going to abstract this so you don't have the need to plan for every contingency. Everybody make 3 little squares on your character sheets. These are your gear packs for the duration of this mission. At any time, if you face a difficult situation while surviving on Blight, you can use these gear packs if you think special gear would help you to get a +1 to any roll.
I brought galoshes, let it be known.
For sure. And they look good too.
Yes.
So that's what you'll have. That way you don't have to spend any time right now trying to think about what funky shit I'm going to do. You'll just have 3 +1s available. They will be primarily for getting yourself out of sticky situations and less about combat, but you can talk me into it if you need to. You are going to do what you've done several times before. You're standing outside the Void Jumper. Captain Matt Vansel is down there to see you off. They finally got it dried off after water.
They put it in a giant bag of rice.
Yeah. Very good. And they did. Let's say they did. Let's say that that's how they did it. It was like special Bloom Planet requisitions that they just wrapped it in a cylinder and filled it with these giant rice. While you're on planet, the crew will be eating only rice for the rest of the trip. So you are about to go down to Blight. Is there any other business you want to take care of on this ship before you go? Otherwise, we're dropping.
Drop.
I know that we're close to the end of the session. I had that in mind when planning your exit. So
I definitely. Please.
What? I just want to go up to Tag and say, I didn't get to properly thank you for saving my life.
Yeah, thanks for saying that, but man, yeah, sure.
Are you uncomfortable with me thanking you?
No, it's just that I feel like saved your life. Maybe, it's like I just feel like I've got you into just as much danger as I've gotten you out of, if not more. But I wouldn't worry about that because I've actually been having lessons, danger lessons.
Danger lessons?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's pretty cool. It's I have a coach who's been teaching me how to think about the consequences of things and act accordingly. So I think Blight's gonna go pretty okay. Pretty good is fine. Pretty fine.
All right. Well, I owe you one because there's a good chance I wouldn't have come back if you weren't there. So
no, you had a lot of people on your side. You said you saw your dad when you were in that place. I'm sure he was rooting you on.
Yeah, my dad's dead. So had I gone with him, I would not be here.
Yeah. I just mean that I think he was there to give you moral support, to tell
Tag, thank you for saving my life. You can't get out of this.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay. We're going to do this. There's just a couple beats I want to get through before we end. There's a chance we'll go just a couple minutes over, but we'll see what happens, okay? So y'all load up into the Void Jumper, and it drops out of the bottom of Haven, as it always does, and plummets down towards Blight. you can see through these small slits of windows that this is a nasty looking place. It's wetlands all the way around. The trees are stunted. There doesn't seem to be much solid ground. And there's a lot of swamps. And the Void Jumper crashes down into the muck. The door opens onto an imposing swamp. The air is thick with mosquitoes. You smell rot, decay, death. When you step into the shallow sludge outside the jumper, you are hit with a wave of sorrow. Everybody who has a pre-adventure roll will now roll those rolls. I believe Tag has premonition. Does anybody else have anything?
What does pre-adventure roll mean? I don't know what that means.
I don't think I have one.
It's like he gets a vision.
7.
Reed, do you got that in front of you?
I do, yes.
Tell me
Although
what a 7?
we haven't really been using it. It just says, as the start of each mystery, roll weird. On a 10+, you get a detailed vision of something bad that is yet to happen. You take +1 forward to prevent it coming true and mark experience if you stop it. It's one of those, the game's got a couple that are more mechanically oriented and about experience and stuff like that we've kind of been discarding and just using it as a narrative opportunity.
Okay. So with a partial success, I'm going to give you some information.
Sure.
You are whisked away to that world of visions that you've been to before, and it's like time slows around you and you enter into a dream state. You can see that you're at the bottom of a very large hill, and at the top there is a beautiful tower made of stone. You walk up the hill and open the door easily. Inside, you see 4 versions of yourself. They are all staring back at you. They are wearing clothes that do not quite make sense because they're just kind of blurry. One of them says, "I'm very smart." Another one says, "I'm very sneaky." The third tag says, "I'm very strong." And the fourth says, "But I can keep your friends alive." You feel inclined to make contact with these beings, but you know once you touch one of them, the others will disappear. And with that thought, the vision disappears, and you are back in the swamp. Oh, wait, fuck, I almost skipped the best part. At the tail end of this vision, everybody experiences, on that sorrow, the life force draining from your body. And you suddenly realize why everybody avoids Blight. Because just like all of the other planets that exhibit the traits of their core element, Blight is a place that life has a hard time existing in. Mechanically speaking, you do feel sapped, but that means all of your stats are now -1. Weird is now -3.
What? No!
Oh my God, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, everything just becomes -1.
Do you have some stats that are everything that was already a -1 stays? So everything just becomes -1 except weird, which becomes -3. Are you Sam or Puck right now?
I'm Sam.
Okay. You can tell that Puck feels okay where he is, but you know that if you switch, the same thing will happen.
I'm pretty sure Puck will refuse to come out here.
Okay.
I think he's like, no.
This place seems shitty.
Nope.
So I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop here.
That's it. It sucks. Blight sucks. You are standing at the bottom of a hill that reminds you of the one you just saw from your vision. Only this one, though you cannot see what is on the top of the hill, there is no tower there that is visible to you from where you are.
We're gonna just go right to describing the hill and the tower after you drop some -1 to all your stats except for weird, which is -3. You having a good time right now, Jesse? Keita?
Loving it. You can actually feel a weight on you. It's like something is pushing on the top of your head and shoulders, and the pressure is being released through the soles of your feet. The planet is sapping your energy. It does not feel the way the malice does it, as though it is being stolen and taken. It is just a balancing effect that you are experiencing from coming into contact with the Blight planet.
Just to mechanically clarify, all of our stats besides Weir are now at a negative. It's not that they've been decreased by 1.
Yes.
They are now -1.
They are all negative.
Cool.
Man, next time I see you, I am going to steal all of the spoons in your house. Good luck having a bowl of cereal, you fork-fisted jackass.
Sam, pour yourself a drink.
You are pulled, Tag, I believe, just because you've just seen this in the vision, in the direction of where the tower was.
We are at the top of the hill already?
You were in the swamp at the bottom.
In real life, we are at the swamp at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. So short trek gets you out of the water and that you crest this hill. You see that you've come upon the site of an ancient battle. Bleach-white skeletal remains of humanoid warriors litter the ground. Powerful magic once scoured the earth at your feet, though the craters are now filled with disgusting sludge. Nearby, you find the remains of that ancient tower. But the glory that you saw in the vision is no more. It has been toppled, and only the lower room stands. There is one door. Somebody roll investigate a mystery about this battlefield and this tower.
You know, I'd love to. I've been so self-conscious about my -1 smart, but hey, I got a life coach and now's my time. All right, now is my time, and I will mark that time with a roll of a 5.
Okay. I'll just tell you some stuff, and then I'm going to make a hard move.
All right, let's live the dream.
The door is locked and barred. There are Spriggan runes which decorate the frame. You can see that there are wards that have been carved into the stone. Sam, Puck can see through your eyes and translate for you. They say, "Ye who enters here be favored, for those who exit may be better equipped to press on." Before you can get to work on entering, however, because Tag rolled a whatever, you hear a strange rattle behind you. You turn to see bones, which only moments ago were scattered around this ancient battle site. They are now sliding through the mud, traveling to meet not 20 yards out from the party. They climb onto each other, stacking, connecting, creating a looming beast, a collaged monstrosity of bone and metal as swords and shields clutched in the lifeless fists create a thick armor around what you can now see is a giant bat. What do you do?
Drop my void blaster and open fire.
All right, roll kick some ass.
9 with the penalty.
Wow.
Damn. Nice work.
Just drawing some squares here. Give me a second. Okay.
Lisa, you got real quiet. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just me.
There, is that better?
Still
are
pretty
still
quiet.
Really? How about now?
Good.
Better.
Sam, you quick draw the void blaster and fire on this beast. Bones fling off. You deal 2 harm, but it manages to tilt a wing down, which is lined in old rusted shields, and deflect a ray back at you. You catch a volt bolt in the tummy. It deals 2 damage.
Oh. Oh. Ouch.
Tag.
I'm gonna run right at it.
Mm-hmm.
And as I get close to it, how big is this thing?
We're gonna say it reminds you very much of the beasties that you've encountered on the other planets. So it is quite large. It is going to be elder scorpion sized.
Oh, okay, great. So that tells me that there's some space between the bones. So I'm going to run right at it. And as I get within 10 yards of it, I'm going to just jump into a feet forward baseball slide through the sloppy, wet marsh and try to slide right into its kind of internal cavity.
Okay. It is bat-like, so its wing arms are down on the ground, especially after deflecting the blow. So you will be able to slide into what would probably be this rib cage that's built of a lot of other bones. Roll, act under pressure.
4. Why would I even say that number when I can do the fadeaway?
You slide heroically after going running straight towards it, and you slide and stop right in front of it.
No.
It rears back and puts its hands up, and you can tell that it's going to smash down right onto Tag. Rex.
All right. Well, I see it rearing up, and it's kind of exposed itself. So I'm going to take a quick run and try and just knock it back in the chest with Graflex.
Okay.
And knock it off course.
Okay. You're not going to get your +1. This is not a corrupted creature, oddly enough.
Oh, damn it.
But you are
I have a
still
+1
rolling at
from
a
chat, though.
-1. You do get that +1 in the bank from chat.
Yeah.
If you want to go up to 0, just saying.
I am going to use that +1 and make that. Oh, no. I forgot about the negative. I'm not going to use the +1. But it is a partial success at an 8.
Cool. As the large skeleton bat is crashing down to smash Tag, you are able to get up underneath it with Graflex. You deal 3 harm with that thing?
I think it's 3 harm when I know my enemy. I think it's 2 when it's just a regular thing.
No. If that's the
I will
case,
double
that's
check
not
that.
strong enough. That's an epic weapon. We're going to make it 3 and a 4 if you know your enemy. Because you're usually smashing stuff. And Rex, seriously, you're going to want to take all the pluses you can get. Okay. You lay into this thing, and you actually dislodge several of the connecting bones on one of its wings. Shields and swords and bones go flying again, and you see it crumple down, losing balance. You do protect Tag, but you take the blow. It crashes into you, dealing 3 harm. It is not armor defeating. It is just regular harm. So if you got armor, you take some of that damage off. Which brings us to Bryn.
Okay. I'm going to use the dampness of the planet to create unstable air and shoot lightning on it, hoping that light will damage a bat, because they don't like light,
Okay.
with the lightning.
Okay, I think that this place is pretty gloomy and shitty. It is kind of storm clouds anyway, so you won't need to mess with the sky. You can try to harness the lightning energy that is up in those storm clouds and roll use magic. You have a -3, weird. You also have some curses and a hat, and I'm really fucking excited for what's about
But
to
I
happen.
also have the good dice from Merc, so
True.
this is the first roll, Merc. Ooh. With it, it's an 8.
Okay.
With the -3.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice dice.
That's some good dice.
Good
Um,
dice, Merc. Thank you.
This is one of those instances where elemental play will come in to effect. Blight is this creature's element. Lightning is just neutral with it, so it will not be taking a penalty or a bonus when it gets hit by lightning. You are going to deal 3 damage, and it catches one of the shields, and you can see electricity course through this thing as an explosion erupts and sends more bones. It is reforming each time it takes damage, but the bones that have been discarded do not add back in. So it keeps rebuilding itself into a smaller and smaller bat. You are now facing something that's about twice the size of a gorilla, but it is considerably smaller than it was before all of these attacks. Which brings us back around to Sam.
Sam grits his teeth, clutching his wounded abdomen, raises his pistol, and takes another shot.
Alrighty.
Seven.
Okay. You fire again. It does manage to deflect. You deal 2 harm, but the bolt bounces off and hits Bryn. And she takes 2 harm.
Oh, I say calm. That's interesting.
Tag.
All right. I have stopped short, saved only by the fast reflexes and pure brawly badassness of Rex. So while I've lost my heroic moment, I'll still just scramble the next 5 meters to get inside this thing. And I want to just start climbing kind of up its rib cage from the inside, holding onto some top ribs like a jungle gym bars, swinging and using my feet to kick out some other ribs. And really, ideally, I'm more trying to get this thing's attention and have it, kind of smack at itself than necessarily take it down from the inside.
Okay, let's do act under pressure instead of kick some ass.
Be a -1 either way. Well, the good news is that I have another opportunity to give the fadeaway flag.
Good gravy, man.
You need my dice.
No, I need my stats back.
Would that have helped you with this one?
You're not going to take harm here. I'm going to bank that hard move. I will use it next time because I had something in mind. So I will just use it as an excuse to torture you later. So the creature does start to claw at itself. It's not doing as much damage as you had hoped. And it is not hitting you because you've managed to get into the middle of it. But it is now fully distracted. So you've not dealt it damage to it, but you have completely distracted it. It is no longer actively trying to attack anyone, which brings us to Rex.
Well, I can see that it's distracted, so I'm going to attempt a similar move to our friend Tag here, but rather than go at it from the inside, I'm just going to try and climb up it to take a good smashing swing at its head.
Okay, that'll be... We're just going to bundle it all into your kick some ass roll.
Okay.
That means your ability to get on top of it is part of this.
That's a 10, my friend.
All right.
Get it.
Rex jumps onto this creature's back, and as she gets to the top of it, manages to lock her knees into some nice clavicle bones and raise her mace and smash Graflex down into this thing's head. Tag, you feel this protective cocoon of bone crumble around you, and the two of you collapse into the mud, you and Rex. The creature is now just a pile of bones.
Nice job, Rex.
And in this battlefield, aware now that several of the skeletons must have been adventurers like you who perhaps were attacked by a similar creature. And you can see now arrows in the ground, discarded swords, shields, a mace, holy relics, scrolls. But you are in the silent swamp. There's nothing but the buzz of insects and the chirp of reptiles. and the tower ruins behind you. Again, to remind you, because you just got attacked by a giant bat, when you approach the door, Puck reminds Sam to tell you guys that the translation says, "Ye who enters here be favored, for those who exit may be better equipped to press on."
I don't think it's void of danger, but I think it's our best bet to, take the risk.
Wait. I'm going to think about the consequences of that risk.
Yeah, but we don't know the consequences in this particular scenario.
So I think...
No, it's better to do it the way you did it before, where you just positive go-getter attitude.
And in the middle of his sentence, I rushed towards the door and hit it with my shoulder.
Okay, roll kick some ass.
5.
I'm gonna help out. I'm gonna be behind him, shoving on him.
All right, roll help out. You're not going to be able to push this up to a success. So if you want to help out, you will need to use magic.
Unless I use one of my points in the bank, which I will.
Okay, cool. So roll help out. Yeah,
that
so
will
get him to a 7.
Thanks, points in the bank.
Mark off one of your... you mean your gear points, or this is from chat?
This is from chat.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
Whatever, man.
Bryn, roll help out. That is plus charm. Nope, that's not. It's plus cool. But it doesn't matter right now.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
If he doesn't need it,
No, he can't. He can't. He's using a banked point. So as long as you don't roll a full failure, you can help him in this. What are you guys doing?
That's what you did this to our stats. This is not my fault. And does that mean I have to pull a stupid thing out of the hat?
From the hat.
Oh.
All right. What do I do with this? Switch places. You and the target swap places. The target is now required to roll for your action. To determine the target. So I'm swapping places with someone that can shove Tag into a door?
No, I think what happens is...
With the door.
Oh, no, I pushed somebody else.
Tag is running forward to smash into this door, and then there is a burst of chaotic magic. It's a conglomeration of all elements tinged with the darkness of the malice. Okay. And this chaotic magic is something that you guys will see a little bit more coming up. But it explodes out of Bryn's temples the moment she has the impulse to help Tag. And then her and Tag switch places in times, and Bryn runs face first into the door and has to roll kick some ass.
Well, it says to determine the target, I had to roll a 1d6.
Yeah, but in this case, it's just too perfect.
Oh,
so I'm breaking my own rules.
Okay, so what am I rolling?
You're just going to roll kick some ass. That's plus tough, which is -1.
As she's rolling, you know.
6. God damn it.
Bryn smashes into this door, and she's not actually running. It's the magic that propelled her to switch places with Tag. She blinks out and then takes up his momentum and hits this door so hard, it smashes off of the hinges, and she goes flying into the tower. Bryn, you take 1 harm.
Cool.
Sam, this is, look, sorry, man. I'm not trying to, you're the guru, but this is exactly what I was worried about. Not this exactly. I didn't think that Bryn would teleport into my place through chaos magic and smash through a door. That's not what I mean by exactly. But what I do mean is that my doing something impulsive like this would result in harm to her. That's exactly what I was worried about.
Okay. All right. So let's just lock this one in the banks of the next time you come across a door, walk over to it, try to open it with your hand by turning the knob.
So I do really appreciate what you're doing for me. I just know about myself that I don't learn well through condescension. It's just a thing that I've picked up over time in the monastery. There was, Sister Matunia was a real pedantic lady, and we never clicked.
Okay. Well,
somehow I feel like I've just made this worse for myself.
No, it's a fair point that there's, you did the opposite of what you were trying to do. It, probably doesn't help for me to, rub that in your face. So.
Hey, you guys.
Oh, shoot, Bryn, hey.
You enter into the tower, what is left of it, and you see that Bryn is picking herself off this busted door and brushing the dirt off of her robes. The tower is pretty sparse, but there are 4 chests inside.
Uh-oh.
There is more Spriggan runes on each of them. Hanging on the wall behind each of the chests is a small pendant on a thin silver chain. Each pendant is colored with a different crystal. Reading the chests from left to right with Puck's help, you see that they say warrior, wizard, cleric, and rogue. Blackout.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
All right.
You guys have a little bit of homework. You have a decision to make for Light.
Like, pick a chest?
Yeah, you don't have to do it right now. You'll be able to talk to your buddies. I think we're taking next week off, right? To prepare for our Halloween extravaganza?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your first mission proper on Blight, which will start the new arc, will be for our Halloween special. It'll be a dark and stormy night, and you will need to choose which chest each of you takes. I can tell you now that your stats will accommodate your choice. So if you choose not to take one of the chests, you will go through this mission with a -1 on all of your stats and a -3 in weird. There are no restrictions. Rex, you can be a wizard if you want to. I have some fun ideas for how Blight's going to work. And the first step will be you guys choosing your new character class for the mission.
Is it 1 per, or could we theoretically have 4 sneaky rogues?
There is 1 necklace per party member.
Copy that. That sounds very exciting, Jesse.
Cool.
So cool.
Very cool.
I'll have to decide. Sam will have to decide how he translates this for the group.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's so fun. All right, so we have a question from chat. A question of the week. I'm trying to remember I think there was one that said, "What is your favorite beverage?" Yeah.
Me?
Yes.
I like either a green bottle O'Doul's or an horchata.
Oh yeah, horchata, that's nice.
No sugar added, nothing but pure pureed watermelon.
Oh wow.
Possibly squeeze of lime, but kind of just like ice cold watermelon juice.
Wow.
Very refreshing.
I'm going to go chai, not like real actual chai with the tea that just looks like leaves and dirt, milk, not much honey.
Well, I'm going to go with my exciting beverage choice because my actual beverage choice is so preposterously not exciting that nobody would believe that that's an actual choice. So I'm going to go with Bellinis, made with fresh peach puree. And
I think we'd like to hear your
what's
crazy,
the actual
impossible,
choice?
unbelievable one. Yeah.
Lightly salted water.
That's cool. That's interesting.
Sea salt.
I'm intrigued.
Does it have benefits in some way, or is it just a taste thing?
No, it's hugely beneficial. So, have you ever had a lot of water to drink and almost felt like dehydrated or tired? You're like, I'm so thirsty, and you keep trying to drink it. It's because it can flush out all the electrolytes in your body, so your body can't actually retain the hydration. So, if you put a little bit of sea salt, and I mean, we're talking like less than a quarter teaspoon per gallon, like just a little bit. If you can taste it, it's probably too much, but your body's able to retain its electrolytes. So even if you're only consuming water, you'll never drink more than maybe, 75% of a gallon of water in a day. Your body will be completely hydrated. It's just, it's like, I'm so thirsty. A little bit of salt and some water, it'll bang it right out.
Do you do this with all your water?
No. Just if I'm feeling if I'm not, if I'm just like either like feeling really hungry for some reason, or just feeling particularly dehydrated, I'll put a little bit of extra salt in my water. Or if I'm doing a prolonged fast, I will absolutely salt my water the entire time. Little salted water and sunlight, you'd be surprised how long you can go before you get hungry, actually.
That's cool. That was, in fact, a fascinating answer. Way to take us home, Case.
What about you, Lisa? What do you drink?
I'm being healthy. There's a tea I really like called Bengal Spice. It's just delicious cinnamon tea. And if I'm being unhealthy, my dad makes the best old-fashioned I have ever had. And it's like dessert in a cup. It's delicious.
Does he do like maraschino, like the glowing red cherries?
He does. And where did he get the recipe? I think he got it from Mad Men. Like came out with like a weird how to make our drinks on the show. And he kind of, and how many ice cubes he puts in it is how drunk you're going to get. So if you want more ice, there's like a code about it. It's very funny. But everybody that's had one is like, this is the best drink I've ever had. So usually it's like a holiday thing. Have it around the holidays.
I don't know if it's secret family info, but I'd be curious to see that recipe thrown in the Discord.
Oh.
If you or your father was willing to share.
Oh, dude, my dad's the best. He would share anything. So, yes, I can share the famous old-fashioned. And I think you have to get the Costco. This is really bad because we're kind of whiskey snobs. But when it comes to this, the Costco Kirkland brand of whiskey is like, it's not very expensive, and that's the stuff he uses. And it tastes like a ginger snap cookie. Is what the drink tastes like. It's very delicious.
I'm into it.
And very dangerous. Okay, that's all I got. It's so late. We went so long.
We went over, yeah. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to get us there before Halloween. I appreciate it.
No, we took a long time talking about important stuff in the beginning too, so we got a late start. Thank you guys for hanging out. We just finished season 3 already.
Yeah. Go everybody.
Go everybody.
Except FNC, because the water planet sucks.
September, October. We've been doing this for 5 months, 6 months. I don't know. It's like crazy since May. I think it was May.
That's terrifying.
It was May?
It was May. Yeah.
Oh my
Of
God.
2017. I don't know.
Who knows? We're in a time warp. So thanks for hanging with us and following the story. This next season should be super fun. Big thank you to Mark Thomason for doing our tech stuff. All the camera work, everything. He's just amazing. Thank you, Mark. And thank you to Aaron Buman for our dope intro and our graphics and our music, which is so cool. To Merk, our mod, and for giving me dice this week. Thank you so much. She literally had it sent yesterday and it arrived today in time for tonight, which is so cool.
That's so cool.
And her stories are so good. She wrote one for Bryn and 2 for Tag. and they're just so good. I'm just blown away. So thank you so much. Thank you to Zombie Orpheus for hosting us. Thank you to you, chat. And then we've got Zoe Game Night tomorrow at 6 p.m. See, my brain is on vacation. It's at 6 p.m. tomorrow, and then Monday is Masters of the Metaverse at 6 p.m. And then we will be taking next week off to prepare for our super cool special Halloween episode.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Maybe with costumes.
Definitely with costumes.
We gotta find. I'd love to find a way to. Chat, you doesn't have to dress up, but I just like a lot of people dressing up. If there was some sort of like costume share that we could get going on Discord or something.
What if we made a special channel that's like the costume ball, and people can like upload photos and we're at a party.
Yeah. And we can populate it with. I'll just start the party off by throwing some old costume photos in there.
Yeah, please do.
Just showing costume photos. Let's get the season.
Yes.
And maybe people could. Sorry, I'm getting so excited about Halloween. Maybe people could also. It'll be our Halloween channel. And if you guys have scary movies that you could recommend, I'm definitely trying to watch some scary movies. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. If you have Netflix, watch The Haunting of Bly Manor. It's really good.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm watching the first one, The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
So good.
It's so good?
I thought it was so good.
So good.
I'm only like 4 episodes in, but I so far think it's the most like over-directed, anti-subtle, just on the nose, horrible.
You'll like season 2.
It's on other people's opinions, but so far it has just not fucking clicked for me at all.
It is based on a novel, the author of which I can't remember her name. The novel's solid. It's a solid Halloween read. I actually read it for last Halloween, and it is a superbly told horror story with like a lot of emotion, grounding it into a world that we care about. And so if you are disappointed in the show, check out the book.
Okay.
And season 2 has nothing to do with season 1. It's a totally different story. And it's not as scary, but it's...
I mean, here's the thing. I keep watching it, so joke's on me. But I have a hard time turning off stuff that I've committed to. Yeah, we'll see.
Cool. We'll get
Thank you for the recommendation.
Shirley Jackson.
Oh.
The Haunting of Hill House. Shirley Jackson. Penguin Classic.
Oh, that makes me much more interested in it.
Oh, it's dope.
Yeah. All right. We love you guys.
Love you, everybody.
Oh, we're already logged off.
Oh.